Good evening, friends. We have finished morning session very good way, and now we are starting with the cadaveric workshop videos. I am Dr. Rajendra Trivedi, very consultant neurosurgeon, senior consultant neurosurgeon in the Rajkot city. I am honorary at Civil Hospital Rajkot. I introduce Dr. Prakash Moda. He is also a senior most consultant neurosurgeon and running a big super specialty hospital, Gokul Hospital. And he is going to show the workshop on cadaveric workshop, a video of microlumbar discectomy. I request Dr. Prakash, please start your talk.
Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brigadier Professor Dr. P.K. Sahu, Chief Consultant, Neuro, Spine, Radio Surgery, Apollo Hospital, Bhubaneswar. Today, I am going to show a case of cervical disc replacement. The essential equipments which are required for a cervical disc replacement are a good operating table, a CM, a good operating microscope, high-speed drill, and reducent cervical retractor like Casper retractor or Tremblay retractor. After having all this equipment, then you anesthetize the patient. The patient is put in supine position under general anesthesia. Then we make the position of the patients and then we give a skin incision on the anterior aspect of the neck. A incision is given from the midline to the lateral border of the sternocleidomastoid. And after the skin incise, then we excise the platysma, then you remove the anterior osteophytes if there are any. Then we do a discectomy and end plate preparation. This is how we do a discectomy after putting the trimline retractor. Initially remove the disc with a 15 size blade and with the pituitary rongeurs we remove the further disc. Further on the posterior aspect of the disc we use a curette or a osteophyte remover to remove the osteophytes from the posterior aspect of the disc. So disc is removed, complete disc is removed, end plates also are removed, and normally we open the lateral root, and sometimes you have to coagulate the muscles anteriorly to go to the lateral aspect of the root of the nerve and to excite the disc like we are doing here. Then for the posterior longitudinal ligament, it is, some of the people say that posterior longitudinal ligament should be removed, and other people also say it may not be removed, but in our case always we try to remove the posterior longitudinal ligament. So the posterior longitudinal ligament are removed in the help of a drill as well as putting a forceps and cutting the posterior longitudinal ligament. This is how we are removing the posterior longitudinal ligament as well as the residual disc and some of the osteophytes on the posterior aspect of the vertebral bodies, both above and both below. After removing the disc as well as end plates, osteophytes, then the question is whether one has to remove the PLL, posterior longitudinal ligament, or not. Some of the people believe that there is no requirement of removing the PLL, but in a normal process we always try to remove the PLL. That gives lot of decompression. Now this is, you have to see the disc size, so intradiscal sizing is extremely important before implantation of disc. So this is how intradiscal sizing is done. Accurately you have to find out which size is essential. You have to see this CM image intensifier when you are putting the intradiscal sizing. After verifying the intradiscal sizing, like in this case 7/16, we use a end plate rasp of similar size. And here the end plates rasp removes all the end plates, that also you see through the image intensifier. Then the disc space you see well the PLL is removed. Any end plate osteotomy, that also is removed. At this time then we and this is how you use the rail cutting so that the implant will be pushed in the same size. So this is how after rail cutting you do the implant positioning. This is the implant being placed. Again, that is being checked through the image intensifier when you are using the implant. At the end of the implant positioning, you remove the implant remover, and this is how it looks like after the implant is placed. You also see with the X-ray that implant is in position. The C-arm we check this, and also we try to see movement, whether movement is there or not. This is how immediately after the surgery the implants look like. This is one of the case where implant has been put, and this is the lady on day 1 of operation. You can see we do not put a dressing, we use Dermabond, and day 1 itself the lady or the person where cervical disc replacement has done, we test that flexion, extension, all the movement can be possible. Thank you.
Dr. Sahu, congratulations, very good demonstration and easily which you have showed very well in the workshop, cadaveric workshop, and mm, unable to see you in Bhubaneswar personally, but when we have seen you on your face, it was very good to be, to recognize you very well in this city of Bhubaneswar. Any question?
Yeah, Dr. Trivedi, I would like to ask Dr. Sahu that how many levels he can perform this replacement? 2, 3, or
Yes,
many
Dr.
more?
Sahu. Hello. So now I request Dr. Prakash Moda from Rajkot to talk regarding this microdiscectomy in the lumbar region. Dr. Prakash, please start your this video session on cadaveric workshop. Hello,
Very good
Prakash.
afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brigadier Professor Dr. P.K. Sahu, Chief Consultant, Neuro, Spine, Radio Surgery, Apollo Hospital, Bhubaneswar. Today, I am going to show a case of cervical disc replacement. The essential equipments which are required for a cervical disc replacement are a good operating table, a CM, a good operating microscope, high-speed drill, and reducent cervical retractor like Casper retractor or Tremblay retractor. After having all this equipment, then you anesthetize the patient. The patient
This is regarding, whatever the talk today is going on is on the backbone of the man, because spine is a very, very, structure, rigid, whatever you can say, on which, because the animal, they don't get the back pain because they walk on the four legs. And we, as a human being, because in the upright position, so our total weight of the body travels to the spine. So that the spine is divided by in the three portions: cervical, dorsal, and the lumbar region. So maximum people who are working labor work, they have a problem of lumbar spine. Back pain is a common word. Professionally, people, they're working in the bank or some lot of work, and they do like this work, and so they get a chronic back pain. Some lifting of weight, some farmer working, so many hours lifting very heavy weight, or in the ladies also working in the house, carrying, they get a pain in the back, catch pain in the lumbar region, which is very, very common, nowadays. And everybody have in the day, in the life, have experience of the back pain. It is a common in everywhere, So this lumbar region is very, very important in any person's, My, one, I remember one, events, what this boss, Guru, Dr. Respected Dr. Ramani was telling, it was a, it was a funny, that one young lady in the foreign country, they came and complaining to sir when he was in the UK, Newcastle upon a Tyne, and consulted there. So she got a, catch pain in the back when she was in the, enjoying with his partner. And, that Dr. Ramani asked this MRI to do this, and she has a huge disc. She was unable to sit, unable to bend, and radiating pain in the legs. And so she recovered after the surgery, immediate, because it was a obstructive to the nerves. When the nerves is damaged, then it is a problem, In the back pain, we have to be very careful not to get bladder and bowel disturbance, When it goes, it always comes very late, and sometimes it may not come. So patient has to suffer, person has to suffer with the bladder problems, dysfunctioning of the urination and the stool. It is a major problem, and we have to take care of this. So immediately, any back pain, when it starts, when anybody starts the back pain, and always see the consultant, spine consultant surgeon, who can diagnose, and according to you have to, whatever he says, you have to follow, today in this era of all medical and in the modernization of the medical science, because we started our career in 1980, where there were no CT scan, no MRI, and even though we have to do the diagnosis, you can imagine the first, what we have learned from this all seniors is the clinical diagnosis of the lumbar pain. After that, all CT scan has come. You used to inject the liquids in the, in the spine. It is called myelography. It is also painful. Sometimes it gives a lot of reactions also. In that era also, we used to do the surgery of the spine surgery. This surgery, spinal cord tumors, we used to operate in this era. And today, what we are seeing, all this modernization of the technique, even incision, skin incision also, you can say it is a bikini incision. Sometimes, in the cosmetic purpose also. people who are working in the Bollywood or Hollywood, they prefer this type of incision, usually the female. So from this incision to go inside, also a minimal invasive surgery has developed. With the advancement of technology, with the equipments, nowadays it is, that during that period in 1980, the patient when admitted, they have to stay a long time in this hospital, 4 to 5 days. And today, only within 48 hours or within a 24 hours, he or she can be discharged. So that tremendous type of, the pain relieving. So pain is actually a protecting mechanism of the body, where your mind, through your mind, this body can speak to you. Okay, oh, now I'm having a problem. If you don't get the problem, this is also a problem to the body, because you cannot recognize this is a serious problem. So pain is actually helpful to the human to diagnose as early as possible in this era. Next, the lot of treatments, CT scan, MRI, and intraoperative, lot of things has come. We have the imaging systems also, OAM and all, and this, So the treatment, what we have seen and started, it is now already changed. And we also started doing this and practicing also. So this is the in the spine, lot of developments has come from the cervical region also. These people are mostly carrying some ladies are carrying weight on the head, and some sort of even professional hazard to the doctors also, seeing in the microscope for a long time, in the peeping out a long time, and get the back pain and shoulder pain. So they get a cervical spondylosis, degenerative changes is a major problem which we are facing in the professional hazards. So for that also we have to look and diagnose, and according to that can be also nearly cure the things if we diagnose it as early as possible. So we have to very take careful, before going any surgery. The always body can speaks about the pain, and if only we can, this consider the part of management in the treatment of pain, then you can come out very well. So a lot of medicines are coming, a lot of pain tablets and all. We are taking care, and physiotherapy department also, having a lot of things nowadays developing very well today in this modern science also. So we can take the care of the physiotherapist to how to take this physiotherapy and relieving the pain, and plus surgical aspect and post-surgical aspect also. Some treatment is required, and you have to take care of your back, otherwise you have to be bad in the bed. So this is the message for you. Take care of your back so they can take care for you. Otherwise they can put you in the bed. So anything you wanted to know, other aspect or any? Hello? Now relieving is also yoga. It is an alternative medicine, you can say, today's in this era, because people they are most of the time keeping working and forget about your body. Body is the consider is a sadhan, you can say. It is so with your mind, because mind during this period, all the sensation received by the mind, and it goes and realize about the attachment is there, then you can get the pain, because of all sensory fibers and pain fibers, whatever the sensation is collect into the mind, goes into the memory and recognize the pain, and we can find out what are the pain is we are getting. When you put a finger in this hot water, you can get a hot sensation. If you get a prick, then you can say, oh, some people are so sensitive to, put a prick and they, cry, which we have seen during this vaccination, COVID vaccinations of people just taking a small prick and they shout and they cry very well. So mind meditation, which can give you relief from this, any sort of, pain, reduce the amount, reduce your drug intake. So mind meditation, every doctor should do, which is maybe called some pranayam, some meditation, some vipassana, any path, but you must start doing as early as possible, Ultimate goal of the life is to control your mind and to get the peace of the life with alternative therapy of the life is a yoga, whatever our president, whatever our prime minister Narendra Modi has told. And I today wish, because today is 17th is our opening of this workshop and live operative session and plus category workshop, and his birthday is today. So we remember he's also a dynamic person, and we wish him a very energetic life forever, and more years to serve for the nation and for the world.
Hello.
Start.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Sahu, I am able to hear you.
Now?
Yes.
Can I start now?
Yes.
Okay. What I have shown in the sawbone is the pedicular screw and rod fixation. Pedicular screw rod fixation, the lumbar spine is indicating certain situations, like if there is a fracture, if there is tuberculosis spine, certain tuberculosis spine, if there is spondylolisthesis, if there is a malignant condition. These are certain situations where we have to put pedicular screw rod fixation. And how we do pedicular screw rod fixation? As a matter of fact, we all learn pedicular screw rod fixation from the lumbar spine first. Then we go for other system. So it is very easy to put a pedicular screw rod anatomically, L1, L2, L3, L4. But L5, S1 might be a little difficult sometimes. So normally you have to, for the essential requirements for a pedicular screw rod fixations are, number one, you should have a good operating table. A Wilson frame will be essential if it is available. A micro drill or a drill, high speed drill will be essential. Operating microscope, when you are decompressing, you are doing operating microscope essential. Normally such patients are anesthetized. It is done under general anesthesia in a prone position. Head can be rested on a silicon frame, or it can be on the Sugita frame or Mayfield's frame. So this is to avoid any pressure on the eyes. Again, to prevent intraoperative bleeding from the extra dural vessels. The abdomen should be free. It should not be. It should not be.
Pressed.
It should not be. The abdomen should not be pressed. So it should be free. Next, once the patient is anesthetized, put on prone position, and normally we put a Wilson frame. Then you start. Suppose in this particular case we have shown it is L3, L4 spondylolisthesis there. So if there is L3, L4 spondylolisthesis, in that case you have to expose. You have to put a screw, pedicular screw on L2, L3, and L4. So you have to expose from L1 mid to L4 lower border. So you have to give midline. Now imagine after the patient is put on a prone position, you have to identify the vertebral bodies and the pedicles by the image intensifier. But if you have a navigation system, if you have got a O-arm in that situation, the incision can be accurately placed, and then there is no need of doing previous X-rays and other things in such cases. When you do not have O-arm or you do not have navigation system inside operation theatre, normally use a C-arm. If it is biplanar C-arm, that is excellent. But if you do not have biplanar C-arm, you can do it with a planar siam also. But you have to identify from L1, since you have to put L2, L3, L4, L1 to L4 lower border, you have to put the midline incision, and it is midline incision. Then you cut the lumbodorsal sulcus at the same midline. Then next step is that you have to retract the paraspinal muscles. What you do, use a cuff to retract them with monopolar cutting boards. We normally retract the muscles. Initially, you open the spinous processes, then you retract the muscles from the lamina. As a matter of fact, when you are doing open method using microscope, in that situation, you have to expose the spinous processes, the lamina, as well as up to the transverse process you have to expose. Once you expose all these things, the next step will be to identify the pedicle entry point. In standard anatomical way, you identify the pedicle by opening the middle of the transverse process and the lateral border of the superior facet of the vertebra. You see, it's covered. Yes, it's hand. No, it's somewhere. Yes. So you have to put the pedicle screw entry point, as I said, middle of the transverse process and at lateral border of superior facet of the joint of vertebra below, or it could be the pars articularis, where you can put the point, that is the point where you have to find the pedicle. So when you have to do a pedicle screw rod fixation, you have to put a bone tap first. After doing a bone tap, then you pedicle probe you have to put to make the track. Sometimes the track is fibrous, the very hard bone. In that case, if it is a self-tapping screw, you have to use the bone tap. After
Sir, can I interrupt?
Please.
Sir, one question. There was a listhesis between L3 and L4, you told. Is it L3, 4? You told there was a listhesis. There was a listhesis in L3, L4. Is it? Sir, is it audible?
Can you repeat the question? Somewhere or other the
Sir,
sound got muted,
you told that there is a listhesis between L3 and L4.
This is L3, L4 spondylolisthesis. So,
but did you put screws in L2 also? Or L3, L4?
somewhere or other the this
between L3 and L4.
Correct. So you have to put L2, L3 and L4.
Did you put screws in L2 also?
Yes, because only single level can be done. Single level can be done, but if the listhesis is gross, if the listhesis is gross, in that situation you have to fix one more level. It can be done. Single level can be done, but if a grade 2, grade 3 listhesis more, then you have to fix total level.
Okay.
So only doing in a listhesis single level, that is not normally done. So you have to do it 2, 3 and 4. Otherwise, if it L3, L4, the listhesis grade 1, in that situation, we might have to do a T-leaf operation, which we have done today also. In the T-leaf, we can put, if a grade 1 only, then you can do a 2 level only, that is L3, L4. But grade 2, beyond that, then you have to fix. Only doing 2 level may not be adequate, it may not be stable, therefore you have to do L2, L3 and L4. Or it can be, because L3, or it can be L3, L4, L5. So anything can be done.
Okay. Okay, that's a good, sir. Sir, did you use any reduction?
So,
sir, did you use any reduction screw?
Yes. We have to use a reduction screw at the level of L3. Yes. L3 reduction screw, L2 and L4. And of course, a T-leaf was put between L3 and L4. So you have to find the pedicular point. And since there is gross listhesis at L3, L4, you are developing the reduction screw at the level of L3. Yes. L3 reduction screw, L2 and L4.
Sir, you are watching the platform in the background. Please log out of the platform.
So you have to find the particular point and since their gross
Sahu sir? Sahu sir? Sahu sir, is Saurabh here? Are you on a laptop? Are you on a laptop?
I have a telephone and a monitor.
Have you logged into the platform? Now you can talk, sir.
Now, you have hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So the particular point is, as I said, transfer process. Middle of the transfer process, you have to expose.
That's okay.
And we mark it. Then lateral border of the superior facet. Suppose the L4, you are putting the particular screw. Naturally transfers middle of the transfer process and superior facet lateral level or pass. That's the point you will go. And normally what you do, you go vertically and 5 degree downward. That normally you follow. So you put the screw there. Similar, you put the other side, then and then 2. And when you are putting the particular screw at the level of L5 and L4 and L2, this is a standard polyaxial screw. Normally put 45 mm length and 6.5 meter diameter screw you put. But at the level of L3, we put a reduction screw. Same, of course, length is 45 mm with 6.5 mm diameter. After doing that, then we'll do a decompression. Is a canal stenosis, canal narrowing, is a passage hypertrophy. Is a ligament. Normally, you will find the ligamentum flavum is hypertrophic, it is thick, so you have to excise the ligamentum flavum. With this chronic process, there is the facet joint hypertrophy. Also, you have to excite the medial part of the facet joint. You have to decompress the canal. If the spondylolisthesis is in that situation, you have to also excise the inferior part of the lamina and the facet joint of the superior body so that the nerve root is free and you can see the nerve root well. And after the interfact, we do TLIF. We normally dissect the disc or we do a microdiscectomy. After doing a microdiscectomy, then we use the severs to save out the end plates. Normally in the chronic cases, you will find the end plates are also fibrous. Therefore, you have to remove or curate the end plates by the sever. And after doing that, then you have the trial. It could be 8, 9, 10, whatever size fits you see with the image intensifier. And with the image intensifier, we see which size fits. It's very appropriate to decide the proper size. If you put a size less or more, if you put a more, it will distract it. It will a higher level. It will narrow the foramen. So therefore, that should avoid it. Some of the people also try to compress while putting this. In my opinion, that should avoid it because that also reduces the foramenal space. So that should be avoided. But appropriate size case must be put. And if it is a P case, you have to, or titanium case. Normally, I put a P case. Once you are putting a P case in that situation, you have to fill them with the bone you have taken out. So you fill with that, put appropriate size TLIF case, and then you put the rods. And we normally find when you do a decompression, put a case, some amount of listhesis comes out. But what happens when you have put a reduction screw and thereafter you put the rods? In that situation, you can put the screws, thereafter the ini or what is the top screws you put. In that process gets reduced, mostly some degree of reduction. It may not be 100% reduction, some degree of reduction occurs. But at the same time, I must see that the roots are not put under traction, that must be ensured. And thereafter you close the wound. Initially the muscles are closed and after that subfacial drain is put, then you put subcutaneous and the skin is closed. The things which have to take precaution is while we are operating that time, we should not put the traction on the nerve roots. we should avoid injury to the dura because there may CSF leak, and particularly patient diabetic, morbid, that situation one should avoid while doing. You have to be extremely careful. You can use the drill so that you do not puncture the dura. That precaution has to be taken. And there should be any traction on the nerve. That's second thing. And carefully, this must be removed, microdiscectomy done. You invariably find when they call this calcified disc, that must be carefully removed if you are doing a T-lift. And other precautions has to be taken during surgeries, that you must, while going to the observe in beginning stage, one must see when, even if you are doing anatomically, you have to observe that you are putting the screw in proper place. It should not perforate, it should not go to the disc space, it should not perforate the dura. That must be carefully watched while performing the screw placement. And finally, you could tighten, again check finally whether things are all right or not, then you close and come out. The other things which you'll find after doing pedicles rod fixation, post-op hematoma is quite common. Therefore, you at least for 48 hours, you should put a drain when you are dissecting so much. Drain must be put. And patients should mobilize after 48, after the drain is removed, after 48 hours, he should try to mobilize such. But those bedridden, those who have very low muscle power, it may take some time for them to get up. It may not be 2 to 3 days time. And post-operatively things which has to watch infection, because those who are diabetic and nutrition-wise not proper, probably they may develop infection. That must be carefully watched. Wound is normally removed after we normally remove after 14 days, and thereafter, of course, ambulation. We put them to avoid any hard work. Everything we tell them not to do for a period of 2 to 3 months, and thereafter they can do normal activity. That is how.
Thank you, sir. Very good surgery. Only one question. Can I ask one question? Whether you bend the rod according to the normal curvature of this lumbar spine or not? Whether you bend it?
100%. 100%. As a matter of mostly I use the pre-contour rods,
Yes.
but if that's not available, that has to be as per the lumbar spine. Even thoracic spine, it should not be straight. It will make the back flat. Therefore, you have to contour the rod.
Okay, very fine. Thank you very much, sir. Very good surgery. And I'm sorry I was a little late. I was in a condolence meeting. So I'm sorry. Thank you very much, sir.
It's so nice that you have, I knew that you have constant, you have told me you are busy with the 75 anniversary celebration, so you are busy, but nice that you have come. It has been extremely nice.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Professor Bhavani Das was asking the link for the inauguration function.
Yes. Hello. At 6 o'clock, the inauguration function will start.
What is the link for that?
Link I have already sent. I'll again send to you and him. Both I will send
Sir.
again.
Sir, please.
At the hall is the link. I will tell them to send the link. Yes, hall.
It is Halle. Okay. Thank you, sir. Professor Das wants to join. Okay.
Also, if some time also, I'll request you to join also.
So I'll join. I'll join.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.